I'm Jeff Merriman. I'm the CTO and co-founder of the Dextera Institute. Dextera is a membership-based organization. Our members are typically universities, higher education, further education, colleges. We're headquartered in the US. We are beginning to see membership in Europe as well. And what we do is we help our members to make better use of their data to answer questions about student success, but we're also helping our members to think about next generation infrastructure to support new kinds of student success applications and software.
So how can data better support learners and institutions to better meet learners and employees' needs?
Well, I think one of the big things we're seeing is the lack of really good data and really good connections with what really matters, which is understanding education. In the US certainly, and I'm sure this is true most everywhere, there's a certain disconnect between how teachers teach, how the structure of teaching and learning is done in a typical university, college environment. We think about courses, we think about programs, we think about longitudinal, long learning methodologies that get you from point A to point B. And a lot of what we're trying to think about is what does next generation learning look like with new kinds of tools where it can be more discrete, where you can be thinking about and developing curriculum around learning outcomes, job skills, discrete bits of education and bits of competency that somebody can show, either through a badge or some other kind of thing. So we've been working with our members on developing infrastructure to support not just the management of courses and students and broad curriculum, but how can we actually manage and weave learning outcomes, competencies, skills into the design of courses, into the design of education in a way that can allow students allow us to certainly map students' competency more discreetly, but then also build up to a larger set of skill sets that eventually map to job requirements and job skills.
And with the projects you've done already with, this is existing data that's already in institutions and allow them to access it, what have been the outcomes? How's that benefited the learner? How's that benefited employees and institutions?
Well, the work we've done to date with institutions is helping them to better analyze the data they have. So an issue we see in higher education and further education today is that there are a lot of legacy systems, a lot of old technologies in place that have a lot of the data, that have a lot of information historically and about our current students of how they're doing or how they have done. But it's often very difficult to get that data out of those systems to analyze. So we've been helping universities initially in the States, but also one of our members is the Open University of Catalonia that's doing a lot of analytics on their students as well. We're helping those organizations to better extract information from their systems. In the future, what we're trying to do is promote products in the marketplace that really build data access and integration as part of their core requirements, to make it easier and easier to use the operational data of an institution. What courses students are taking, what courses students took over the last 50 years, how students today compares to students from 10 years ago, what can we predict for students 10 years from now, to make it easier for future systems to allow us to get at that information and ask those kinds of questions. And then in reference to learning outcomes and competencies, it's going to be disruptive, right? Because the current systems in the market really, there's a few now that are beginning to deal with competency-based learning, but most of the products in the marketplace don't really deal with those kinds of things very well. So what we're trying to do is encourage our members and encourage the marketplace to begin to provide tools to manage that kind of information, to link competencies and learning outcomes to the traditional constructs of education, courses and programs and assessments, in ways that we think will get to a better educational outcome for all the students.